Hello and welcome back to Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Friday to you. Friday means just one thing. CME's closing. And it will do so in a matter of hours. If I switch over to CME and then a weekly, you can see there are just 2 hours left for the next weekly closure on CME, which is the, how would you describe it? Premier trading exchange for all things Bitcoin. But I certainly don't have access to it, and I'm not sure if any other normal human beings who don't have a hedge fund to trade do either. So as lower species of life, when it comes to trading, have to use the perpetual exchanges like Bybit, which I'll come on to in a second. Anyway, before I get on to that, I just wanted to wish you all well, and I hope you've had a good day. Start of the weekend. End of a week. It's been a bit of a boring week, if I'm honest. It's been a downside week. So boring and downside, means that things could have been worse, again, if you're looking for upside. Nothing has really changed. So it's going to be, by the looks of it, the 9th week within the range of doom. It makes my Valentine's Day range of doom look like a complete breeze now. So that's kind of interesting. And before I get straight into the price action, I just want to remind you, none of it at all is financial advice. But I hope it's useful. And if it is, please like and subscribe. Right, let's get into it. So there's the CME weekly, as I just said, closing in 2 hours. It's a bearish weekly closure, but it's not exactly a, disaster. And the current low, which is at 57.3, remains. So another week in, that's 9 weeks. And the current low on the weekly at 57.3 remains. Okay, so to put a bit more flesh on the bones, and you can see the momentum on the weekly is still way up. So, of course, I'm referencing my momentum indicator of choice, the glorious moving average convergence divergence indicator, also known as, anyone fancy a burger? That's right, the MACD. So, I just want to reassure you that I don't have or intend to have a career in comedy. So, don't get worried that I'm going to try and somehow make a living out of telling jokes, because I'd be poor, let's face it. Now, I did put those crazy green lines on yesterday. I might leave them on for a bit of a laugh. Anyway, so this is Bybit's weekly, and look, at the moment, it looks the same as CME. Feel like I've got a frog in my throat. Now, just zoom down. So the that's not quite a bearish engulfing, but it's close to. It doesn't look so good, that, does it? I mean, that sort of red daily candle, unless it bounces from here, with 5 hours left, so still a fair amount of time, wouldn't look good for more upside from that position. But still a bit of time left. The 4 hour, basically all of the price action from today has happened in this 4 hour candle. And as you can see, it's all to the downside. Now, this line I had at the bottom here, which is 50% retracement of this move up, it's hanging on by its fingertips, but momentum's now to the downside on the 4 hour. Massive bearish engulfing candle. Doesn't look good, but it is still intact. And I'd go as far to extend the line, because I know I draw them as lines, but they're never lines, they're areas. And that area goes down to about 59,500, which is the bottom of the range. And I might be wrong to keep referring to the same range, but I'm going to until price, starts to probably open and close dailies below it. Yeah, it only opened and closed one daily below the bottom of the range. So once there's another couple of, I say that like it's going to happen, but if it transpires that there are another couple of daily closures below where I just said now, 59.5, 59, something like that, then I'll put my hands up and go, the range is broken, and then reset. But right now, I don't think it is. This was, to me, a bit of a fake out rather than a breakout. But because all of that, see that moved down, it all retraced. It all retraced. You know, so at the moment, I'm still saying it's within range for the 9th week. And maybe it will. Maybe it'll turn into 6 months. Like this craziness across here. But I hope it doesn't, because, you know, people have got better things to do with their time than listen to me talk about a range going on and on and on, like for weeks on end, despite my best efforts to make it entertaining. Right, quiet, Simon, quiet. So this remains the local low, this remains the downtrend, and the story is very similar to yesterday, although yesterday's price action was up here somewhere or here, so it looked rather more likely that there was going to be a bounce, but the bounce, as I said, failed to get back above here. And the premise I was talking about was a MACD likely flipping, crossing the zero line to the upside, i.e. flipping momentum to the upside, with a coinciding price action movement above this local high. None of that happened. None of that happened. And therefore, momentum remains to the downside. And, you know, I'm going to treat it as such. If Bitcoin does start to break down below 59.5, probably on a 4-hour, then it probably will make another move back down to here. And this 57, whatever, it was like 57 with a bit of flex either side, happens to be about halfway between my bottom line here and my top line here. So, you know, that's kind of interesting. But I'll come back to that in another video. However, 53,000, I don't think it's on the menu yet for more downside, but, you know, the longer that Bitcoin has this overriding selling pressure with the bears winning, the more likely it is to be revisited. Although I don't personally want to see that happen. Obviously, my personal feelings are irrelevant when it comes to trading. I'd like to see this move back up into the range and do that for however many more weeks Bitcoin requires to break out to the upside with another monumental move. But at the moment, that's not happening. And momentum is on the 4-hour to the downside, to the daily on the downside, the weekly still very much to the upside. So it's the in-between time frames that are being mischievous, and doesn't look like they're going to change anytime soon. Right, there you go. That's my Friday price action analysis. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you did, please like and subscribe. And if you didn't, don't come back tomorrow, because you should be doing something else with your Saturday rather than listening to me going on about Bitcoin price action analysis. See you then. Bye-bye.